So I've got the cards laid out just to save time. Honestly, I do feel that it's going to be a little bit of a challenging next 2 weeks, okay? I just don't see any other way around it because we do have here the Five of Cups, which is dealing with regrets and sorrow. We do have the Ten of Swords, which is being through a potentially painful situation, feeling a little bit like cast out. So, overall, I'm not getting a lot of like the energy is a little bit somber for me. So I'm just going to go through your reading here and hopefully we can see, the silver lining at the end of all of this. So the first thing that I am seeing here is a lot of you are taking a break, okay? There's this energy about rest and restoration, of rest, relaxation, and rest and restoration. I feel like it's more restoration. A lot of you could simply be overcoming the flu, getting some preventative, like shots, like flu shots and things like that, or you are recuperating from some type of major event, okay? I feel very strongly like leaving behind, drinking and dealing with withdrawal symptoms. I feel for others of you leaving behind recreational drugs and dealing with the withdrawal symptoms associated with that. I also feel for some of you, you might have to leave behind that social circle that you're used to hanging out with, mainly because they're not in alignment with you, with your goals and your needs. So if you've been, trying to cut back on drinking, you can't really hang out with the same group of friends that are always drinking, right? And likewise with the recreational drug use. So the same thing applies, and I feel like having to be selective about who you need to wean out of your life and being very strategic about doing this in a way that will allow you to move on with your life in a more positive light. And I definitely feel a lot of you are spending more time cooped up in the home environment. If that is the case, I feel like you need to, I feel like you're cooping your, like cocooning yourself within your home environment. It's good that you don't run into these people, or it's good that, you're keeping yourself disciplined. But I feel like you're getting cabin fever. So maybe, like a better way to channel this energy would be getting more physical, doing more physical activities. And, everyone has their own reasons for doing the things that they do and to, devise a strategy to help them overcome something. So I feel like you might be afraid to go out because you don't want to run into a specific person, for example. And that's perfectly fine. But don't put your life on hold just because you're afraid of encountering a specific person. And I know that's easier for me to say and a lot harder for you to implement, because for each and every one of you, there are, um, different levels of severity as to why you might not want to run into a specific person. So a lot of you, it could be, I honestly see this, and I just have to say it. I feel like it could be somebody from your past that might be involved in criminal activities and you're trying to avoid that. That's perfectly fine. Do what you need to do to take care of yourself, okay? But I feel like for others of you who are trying to avoid a specific person or a specific group of people and it's not as severe, I feel like don't put your life on hold just because you fear running into them. So that means, getting out, doing more outdoors activities, because I feel like you're not, you're, I feel like you need to get out and you need to introduce new energies in your life, and you need to deal with this transition process in a more positive manner, in a more, liberating manner. All right. So I hope that makes sense. So the other thing I'm feeling as well is that you have a significant person that is coming back from the past. Okay. I'm getting this blast from the past, Six of Cups energy. For a lot of you, I feel like it is a fire sign. I'm getting a lot of fire here. Possibly a water sign too, but let's just say this is somebody that is, I feel like they have children. Okay, so no matter what sign they are, I feel like they have children. So it's somebody who's very caring, very, very nurturing. And I feel like in the past, there's this sweetness, this joy, this innocence, and about between the exchange between you and this person. And I also feel like honestly, I feel like for the next 2 weeks, you're not in your top shape, mentally, emotionally, or even physically. You're not feeling at your best. And I feel like in the past, this person, they never judged you. They were always like welcoming, and they were always accepting, and they never judged you. They never made you feel lesser than. And I feel there's potential for this person to come back in, and there's like going to be communication and things like that, and you might find out a lot of new things about this person. So for example, you might find out that they're divorced or in the process of getting divorced is something I'm feeling strongly, especially if you're dealing with a fire sign, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. If you're dealing with a water sign, there's going to be communication coming through as friendships, okay? And it's going to start out in a very slow process as purely reconnecting or reconciling on a friendship, on an acquaintance basis, okay? And I feel like either way, there is somebody that is giving you a lot of love and support who is coming back in from the past. And I sense that I feel like it's divine intervention, because I feel like you're going through a low point right now, and you need support. You need some emotional support, Geminis. And this is coming in at the right opportunity to give you that love and give you that support, and to allow you to open up to another person, because I feel like whoever this person is, they've never judged you, and they have never, looked down upon you. And no matter what you tell them, they're never shocked. They're just like, they've been around the block. They know a lot about actions and consequences. They understand human nature. So whatever you're telling them, they're not caught off guard. They're not going to judge you, okay? For a lot of you, I feel like this is a family member. And I feel like the relationship, it's a very karmic relationship. And I also sense that the connection between the two of you has been very on and off, on and off. But they've never judged you. So I feel like if you're dealing with a person that has given you that unconditional love, they draw boundaries, but they never withdraw their love and their affection. I hope you understand the difference. Some people have to draw boundaries so that you understand where they stand with you. But it doesn't mean that they're retreating. It doesn't mean that they love you any less. They just need to draw boundaries to protect themselves, okay? And I feel like this is the month where you yourself are called upon to draw up your own boundaries, and you're realizing, excuse the siren. Okay, so, and because you have to draw up your own boundaries, you're starting to realize that drawing up boundaries and protecting our boundaries is not about withholding affection. It's just about a healthy way of demarcating, where we stand with another person so that they don't push boundaries, okay? So there is a huge difference here. And I feel like in the past, if you feel like, oh, the other person is withdrawing, they're withdrawing their love, they're withdrawing their affection, I feel like you might have approached it as more of a defensively, or you might have gone about it in a very defensive manner. And you might have to, you might gain some insights into this whole process sometime for the next 2 weeks. The other thing I'm feeling is that just, be very, very careful. So I am publishing this early. So, from the 15th until, the end of the month, try to get a lot of water in your body, because I feel like flu and feeling under the weather, like, general sense of malice, that's coming in. So just drink a lot of water, and, take a lot of vitamin C, eat a lot of fruits, like citrus fruit, so to stave off the flu or a cold. That's something that you're going to need to do. I feel almost like drinking a lot and then going home really late at night, not getting enough sleep. And because you're cheating yourself out of sleep. You can also, your body, your immune system is severely weakened as well. So make sure you get adequate sleep, okay? Either way, you're going to need to get a lot of sleep and to take better care of yourself. Let me see if there's anything else that I'm feeling here. I'm not feeling a lot of problems on the financial front. I feel like you're making good strides, okay? And I feel almost like there might be an opportunity for a promotion, or like there might be some positions within the same company, within the same branch, that are opening up. And I feel like it's kind of telling you that you want to, as soon as these things open up, you need to start applying. So don't hesitate, okay? Even if you're like completely content with your job right now, I feel like some opportunities that are the same line of work, that are the same position, same jobs, but I feel like it pays a little bit better. So just put yourself out there just to see, just to test the water. I feel like, temperature taking, that's going to be important as well. And I feel like if you try to go into those, if you try to scope out those open positions as soon as possible, you're going to have a very good victory when it comes to this matter, okay? So that's coming in as well. For others of you who are dealing with like a father figure, and this is somebody who might have been like, quite controlling, quite difficult, and especially if they have, I feel like mother or father, honestly, if they have a drinking issue, I definitely feel some conversation between you and them is going to clear up. So that means, maybe getting to the root of why they are drinking, or being a support system for them, or helping them get through this process. I feel like a lot of family members possibly dealing with some detrimental stuff, and they need some support, and they need some help and some guidance from you. So I feel like a lot of your energy is expended towards helping family members, helping somebody transition from an old unhealthy way of living to a new way that's going to be really fruitful for them. I feel a lot of you are also working in as a mentor, as a teacher, or working with children in a way where you're teaching them like positive reinforcement mechanisms. You're teaching them like tough love, and you're providing a very strong structure and foundation for them so that they can thrive. And I feel like a lot of the lessons that you're teaching them, it's borders on, these are tough lessons, but I do feel that you're approaching it the right way, and you're teaching them in a way where it's memorable, and they're going to be able to take what you say to heart, and to understand that, you're trying to teach them how to be a better person, and you're trying to teach them about actions and consequences. And especially if you've been dealing with some unruly teenagers, not that teenagers are always unruly, but I feel like specifically when they're of that age where they can start to think and reason for themselves, and they're going to need a lot more explanations. They're going to need like concrete evidence in order to listen to what you have to say, or in order to take I guess in order to accept that what you say is higher wisdom. I feel like they might have been unruly because they didn't trust you, or they felt like you need to back up what you say with evidence. They weren't going to take it lying down. So I feel like this is the month, or at least the next 2 weeks, is kind of like where you are able to creatively meet them where they are. You're providing vital information, and then finally they're like, okay, you've proven yourself, and I trust you now. I trust the examples that you're using, and it makes sense to me, so yes, I trust you. So I feel like that's coming through, especially with teenagers and younger children. Okay, so I feel like a lot of harmony being restored in your home life. It wasn't there before. It's going to come in for the next 2 weeks, and it's going to be good for you. So you do have a lot of support and friends and family members. Okay, so reach out if you need support, Geminis.